In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a fully customized VST plugin in minutes, no coding. I start with a custom background. Go to Romplur.com and click on GUI Designer. And it's loading up now. So what I like to do first is adjust the canvas size. Let's use 1000 by 600. That is the most common plugin kind of size and dimensions. So that's what we have there. Then what we're going to do next is we're going to click under background, and we can click on upload yours, and you can drag and drop any background image onto here. What we're going to do is we'll go ahead and click into the Romplur assets pack that you guys get free. And what I like to do is add it to the side panel over here. So what I could do is add it right there. Boom. Now it's on the side panel, which makes it really easy for me. When you're inside of this folder, there's two folders that say static and dynamic. So static or static images, and inside of here, we're gonna go ahead and click under backgrounds, and there's 3D scenes, there's pre-made backgrounds, retro backgrounds, gradient backgrounds. We'll go ahead and use pre-made. We'll start off with something in here. Let's try this rust and metal GUI background. We'll go ahead and drag it in. So there we go. So it's loaded in now, and then what we could do once we have it in here, you can click under effects, and there's tons of filters in here. You could change the color and look without getting too crazy. Let's go ahead and let's choose that right there. That looks pretty good. This is Ink Well is the filter that we chose to use on this. And then what you could do once you're inside the editor, under here you could choose this toggle grid, and this is going to help you align everything properly. It also snaps to grid, which is really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back now, and let's load up that folder. We'll choose static images again, and let's see. Let's go ahead and this time let's find the logo. You guys could drag in any kind of logo you wish. So if you have your own custom logo, go ahead and drag that in. I'm just going to use one of these out of here for now. Let's see. It's just some logos that I found online for this example. So what we'll do is upload yours. We're under graphics now, so not under backgrounds. We're to replace that background. We're under graphics now, so we're going to add a logo on top of this. So this is an Ant Beats logo. We'll go ahead and shrink it down like that. And you can place it wherever you choose. Then what I'm going to do is start building around this. What I might actually do, which actually could be kind of cool, is to place it up somewhere. You know what? Let's add it down around here. Okay, so we have that logo placed in there, and let's keep adding some more stuff onto here. We can go ahead and click under text. Let's see, we'll name this VST something. Let's see, we'll go ahead and change the color to, that could be kind of cool, is to add like a bluish green of some sort color. And we can name this VST Drip. And then what you could do is you can go ahead and center it. Perfect. That's looking good. And now what you could do as well as you could click under font families, and you could find like the perfect font. Just scrolling through some of these fonts. Let's find one that has like some kind of dripping feature. There it is. I remember seeing this before. What we'll do as well is we'll go ahead and click under here. I'm just adjusting the shadow, which gives it a little 3D-ish kind of feel. And at any time, if you want to go to 3D mode, click under this cube right here. And when you click under that cube, you can adjust. And I'm just moving the mouse to the left, to the right, so you can kind of see it in 3D, which is pretty cool. Let's get back to creating though. So we're gonna go into here, we'll drag that drip down here. There's the drip logo, here's your custom logo, and then we could pull that grid back up, and let's get adding some more text in here. What I wanna do next is adjust it to about 28, that looks pretty good, and we'll call this reverb. up here in this corner. Maybe we'll make it a little smaller, maybe 19. That's pretty good. We'll click off, click back onto it, and let's find a spot up here. That looks good on there. And then what we could do is just shrink this down just a bit. And anytime if you want to duplicate it, you could click on this little icon up here next to the trash can. So it has the little two papers. Boom, it's going to create another instance of it. And you see it has a snap feature, so it's going to align it properly. And on this second text, we'll name this delay. So we have reverb. We'll place the delay over here. Kind of move it over just a little bit. That looks good. Then what we could do, we'll place some knobs somewhere in here. 3 knobs here, 3 knobs there. Then we'll add some more text. Let's see. Go ahead and we can just copy and paste again. That'll work. Boom, just like that. Voila. And on this text, let's see. We have reverb, we have delay. What we could do is we can add chorus. And then what we could do is add filter over here. Do the same duplicate. Let's get it to line up properly. Perfect. And then we'll add phaser here. That looks really good, guys. We could add a keyboard down here. We could push this logo up just a bit. That's looking pretty solid there. Next, what we could do is go ahead and click under graphics again. So we're going to load in another graphic. We'll go to our assets folder, and this time what we could do is click under, let's see, hardwares and screws, and we're going to add a little vintage bolt kind of looking icon. Vintage bolt graphic on top. Perfect. That looks good here. And what we'll do is shrink that down pretty nicely. Could add it in these corners up here so that it looks like a piece of hardware. That's perfect. Add another one down here. Luckily we have the snap to grid feature. Place that there. Let's get one more. Place it down here in this bottom corner. Boom, voila. Okay, so now we have those screw icons. That looks good. We go back to the graphics and load something else onto this. Let's see, let's go ahead and start adding in some knob rings. So what we could do is we're under statics. We got static assets, and we could choose this ring scale. Go. Shrink these down, and this is where we're going to place the knobs into. So I'll place a knob right here. And then what we could do is just keep duplicating these. I got an idea, guys. We could add a VU meter right here inside a Romplur, which would be really cool. Okay, we'll add the keyboard down here. What we could do is we could add 2 more knobs if we want to down here, or we could just leave it alone. Let's just leave it exactly how it is for now. So we can get off of this mode. That looks good. This is where the knobs are gonna go. We got our titles here. Keyboard to go down there. We could look at it in 3D mode real quick. That looks good. That looks good. Alright guys, so let's go ahead next. What we could do is add under shapes. So under shapes, what we could do is add an area where we're going to put the preset browser. We can add a preset browser here. What we could do is we can go adjust the color of it so that it's matching the logos. That looks pretty good, guys. Yeah, that's looking good. We'll go ahead and put this up towards the top. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and export that image as PNG. We'll name this one 2Drip BG. Perfect. Okay, so now we can go inside of Romplur, click under Load Background, and let's go ahead and find it under our downloads. 2Drip BG, load it in. Perfect. Now we can adjust the dimensions, the width to 1000 by 600 height. There's the height. Perfect. And then what we could do is start plugging in. If you right click, you can start adding knobs and VU meters. Like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to place a VU meter in the middle. Thought that would be kind of cool. You could click under the right hand corner and drag it out to whatever dimensions you feel look the best. I'm gonna add one here. That looks great. And then I could add a keyboard down here at the bottom. And I can click under that keyboard and you can see there's options down here. I can change the white keys. Let's make the white keys black. Now that looks pretty cool. And then what we could do is when you hover over the keys, we can make those, when you're hovering over it, it could be maybe a light color of some sort. Boom. You use that when you press down on the keys. Maybe it's a little darker. Perfect. So what I want to do next is start adding some knobs. So what I could do is click under the knob. We can shrink it down a little bit so where we like it, where it fit right inside that ring scale that we loaded in. Shrink it down even more. That looks pretty good. And it tells us the dimensions right here. So this is going to be really important so that we can make all of the knobs that we're adding line up properly. So we can shrink that down. Boom, boom, boom. That looks good. This was 58 by 58. This says 61, so we can adjust that to 58 so that it's matching. Go ahead and click under Control Link, and under Reverb we have three options. There's Amount, so I chose for the Control Link Amount for the first one, Size for the second, and we'll click on the third knob, and that's Damping. Then what we could do is click under Labels, and this is where we can get text. So we can name that Amount for the first one. And what I actually want to do is let's use capital for the first letter and then the rest will be lowercase. The second knob was Size. And we'll add a right click, choose another label. Damping. Perfect. That looks good. And then we could do the same thing for Reverb. and delay, I'm sorry. Same thing for delay. Amount for the first one. Time for the second. And feedback for the third. So we'll just choose right click, choose a label. First one was amount. Second one was time. And the third one was feedback. So what we could do for short is just label it FB for feedback. And what we're ready to do now is we can go ahead and click under drop down, since this is going to be our instrument browser. Go ahead and click onto it. And then for the instrument browser, you could choose the text color that you wish. And for this one, we can make it even black for now. And then what you could do is for the background image color, you can adjust it. Go ahead and just have it just showing a little bit so we know where it's at for now. That looks pretty good. And then you can get rid of these lines as well by choosing alpha. Just like that. If you want, you could adjust the color of the arrow. You see I can make that black up here. You can make it red or whatever color. For now we'll make it black. That looks perfect. And we're pretty much ready here. So what we'll do next is we could add some text under the chorus. Here's mix, that'll be the first one. Rate and depth. So this first one is mix. Click off, and it shows. Add another label. This one's going to be rate. And then depth. Perfect, that looks good. And then for these, under phaser, we'll have mix. Have rate. So mix. We'll have rate. Depth. Okay, so now all of our parameters are all ready to go. And then next what we could do is start adding some samples, and then we can export it as a VST plugin. So let's go ahead and find some samples to add into here. We'll go ahead and drag in this poly synth. Just drag and drop it in. You can adjust the start and end points for the range of where you want these samples to play. I want it to play from 0 all the way to 127, so that's like C8 scale. Up here at the top you'll see file, and let's go ahead and choose export Romplur plugin, and you can export it as a certain type. For this example we'll use AU Mac OS. We'll put in that instrument name, which was poly-80s. And then for the plugin name, let's name it Drip VST. Our company name is Amp Beats, and then all we got to do is click under Export Plugin. It will by default go to your plugins folder, but what I like to do is just have it sent to my desktop. And and then you'll click under the save button, and voila. Now when we check under our desktop, we have a drip vst.component. So this is the audio file that's going to have it ready to go into most of our DAWs. If you want, you can check out the presets by right-clicking on this component file, click under resources, and you see our poly 80s.rmplr file. So this is the preset here. Now, and drag and drop this components file into our components folder so that it'll load up in a lot of our DAWs. So we'll go ahead and choose Mac HD, Library, Audio, Plugins, Components, and we can drag this drip VST into here. I'll put in my password, boom, voila. So now that VST is in the correct location. So what we can do next is load up Live. So we'll load up Ableton Live, or you could load up Logic, load up FL Studio, whatever you choose as your DAW. And we're gonna go ahead and scan for new plugins really fast. When you click under AU Instruments, now you see the Ants Beats. That's perfect. And load in that drip VST. Now you have your own custom plugin with your logo on it. You can add more preset instruments into it. You can start making beats with it, share it with your friends, or start selling it on your own personal website. It's all possible using Romplur.